Howdy Pitmasters, today I'm going to show you how to set up your bullet smoker for indirect low and slow smoking. Using one of these you can create some really good barbecue, you just got to know how to get it set up correctly. Let's get to it. So the first step to getting your bullet smoker fired up is to remove all the modular parts, just exposing the base with the charcoal basket. Then you want to fill up your charcoal basket with your hardwood lump charcoal or your briquettes like I'm using here, but make sure you fill up the entire basket, that way one load does you the entire cook. Then you want to place your fire lighters throughout the coals and light them up. Then reattach the rest of the unit just like this. Then you just want to fill up your water pan and place it in the middle base unit just like this. This acts as a heat sink and allows our temperature to stabilise around the 250 Fahrenheit mark. Then I also like to add a foil drip tray here just to catch any of our meat drippings to make cleanup easier. Now to make sure we have oxygen getting to this charcoal and to get us up to temperature, we want to open up all these bottom dampers fully all the way and then open up our exhaust damper up the top around at least 3/4 of the way. Now one tip I do recommend is, rather than just using the built-in temperature gauge, which sometimes need recalibrating or they're not exactly accurate, I recommend using a wireless thermometer or a wired probe thermometer, just, a reputable brand one. For example here I'm using a Maverick wired probe thermometer, which goes through straight into the grill grate, and they tend to give a better reading than the built-in gauge. So that's just a helpful tip for you, but if you don't have one of those, you can just go by this, it'll do the job. Another tip, whilst your pit's preheating, chuck your wood chunks under this vent here so they preheat and they get nice and hot. That way when they go direct onto the coals, when the temperature is ready, they will ignite pretty much straight away. Okay, so we're almost up to temp. So what we're going to do is crack open this bottom door here and get on our first preheated chunk of apple wood. So now that that's on, we'll leave this door open for some oxygen flow into that fire, and that should catch a light in roughly 30 seconds or so. And there we are, our wood is fully lit. So let's get this door closed and get our pork belly on. So now that our smoke is up to temperature, you want to get your meat on the top cooking rack and re-secure your lid. So we've been aiming for that 270 Fahrenheit mark for this example we're doing. We dropped down a temperature a little bit, so what we did is we just opened up some more of these damper vents here, opened up our top exhaust, and then opened up these bottom dampers, and from about 252 Fahrenheit to 259 in about 3 or 4 minutes. So that should start to shoot back up, and then as we approach that 270 mark, we'll start to close them off and stabilize them. That way it should hover our temperature around 270 Fahrenheit. So with the cook example we're doing today, we're about 3.5 hours into it, but we should still get another 3 or 4 hours out of that charcoal. So there you have it. I mean, you'll get about an 8-hour to 10-hour cook out of a full basket of charcoal using a bullet smoker, provided you've got your dampers open properly, you're utilising your exhaust. Also other factors like the wind conditions, the weather, is it hot, is it cold, how much wood are you using, that adds to the heat source as well. So there are a few variables, but as long as you fill your charcoal basket up full to begin with and you utilise the water pan, you make sure you're doing all those things like looking after your dampers, you keep it out of some wind if you can, you should get an entire long brisket cook out of just one load of charcoal if you do it right. That's how you set up and use a bullet smoker for smoking any kind of meat. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.